your body fat does not determine your happiness. And I've fallen into this trap before. I always thought, oh, once I have the perfect abs, once I have the perfectly shaped butt, once I have the perfect back where you can see every muscle, I'd be happy. And I got to this point where I was at a very low body fat percentage, and where I was all of what I've always wanted, and where I actually looked exactly how I wanted to look. And I was still the same. And I was like, well, that's crazy. Like, how's this possible? I have all of what I've always dreamed of, what I've always worked so hard for, and I have all of what everyone else around me has too. Like all these people I look up to that seem so healthy, seem so happy, but I'm not. And I didn't realize that, well, I wasn't really focusing on actually accepting myself and actually loving myself for who I was before. And I thought, so I kind of used this to really cover all of those feelings, all of what was missing for me to feel happy. And so I thought, oh, cool, once I have the body that I've always wanted, I'll be happy. Why wouldn't I? Everyone else wants abs. Everyone else wants a really sexy bum. Everyone else wants a good-looking back. And that would just make you happy. And it wasn't the case, like I said. It's just, I wasn't there. I got there, but I wasn't feeling how I expected to feel. And I really struggled. I struggled to not only put on a bit more body fat again, but I've also struggled to just accept my body for how it looked, no matter how much body fat that meant, or not, no matter how many kilos that meant, or not regardless of how healthy I was eating. And so I had to really go deeper, and I started actually working on myself. I started to focusing on myself and focusing on how I feel rather than how I look. And that's when everything really started to shift. And I actually started to enjoy training again. I actually started to not stress about what everyone else thought of me either. And yeah, just really things started to change in a positive way. And I certainly became happier, and I certainly started to accept how my body looked, and I stopped judging every part of me that wasn't perfect, or that wasn't what society or social media what meant perfect to them. And so yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and I think it's so important that you learn to actually fall in love with yourself and fall in love with your body, regardless of how it looks. Because I mean, if it's healthy, if it's strong, if you're feeling good, that's reason enough to be happy. It doesn't matter whether you have perfect abs, or whether you have a perfect bum, or whether you have a perfect back, because that really certainly doesn't determine whether you're happy or not. And I had to learn the hard way, and I don't want you to make the same mistake, and I don't want you to focus on social media or other people, because first of all, it's not always the truth. Like, it doesn't always mean just because they look happy or they promote that they're happy, that they are, right? And in fact, the better you look, or the more perfect you look, the more you're judged, and the harder it is to actually feel happy and to not get distracted by all these people around you, right? And so I really can't stress this enough. I just really want you to stop focusing on how you look so much, but really learning to look after how you feel. And I want you to fall in love with your training sessions, because you feel strong, you feel accomplished, you feel you having all these endorphins rushing through your body, like the luck hormones or the happy hormones, I call them, and focus on that. Because if you don't, you are most likely gonna give up because you don't enjoy training. And yeah, that's what I had to learn, and that's what I really want to make you realize, that you don't have to go through the same, because really I can promise you, just having abs is not going to get you happiness, and it's not going to get you a lot of followers, and it's not going to get you whatever maybe other people do have, because you don't know their story, they don't have your body type, and they're not you. So just don't let it affect you, and just really don't focus on it. Focus on yourself and focus on how you feel. Fall in love with your training sessions. Fall in love with how you feel. And just fall in love with your body, because it does its best to keep you healthy, to keep you moving, and it will, once you're happy, it will, everything else will follow, because it's easy to get abs. It really is. And I can get you there. I can get you there very quickly. But if you don't do the work on yourself, you're not going to be happy, even if you have the perfect abs, the perfect Photoshop abs that everyone else wants. So forget about that. It's not the truth. It's actually very far from the truth. Just focus on yourself and be happy.